Parenting. Technology is like candy. Restrict the candy. Hi everyone, welcome to Signpost for Living with Dr. Kirsten Hunter. Hello darling, we've got dancing Kristen Coggan here.
Good evening everybody. Wherever you're listening to this, could be good morning, good afternoon.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day. What did you think of that title? Parenting, technology is like candy, restrict the candy.
Oh, this is going to be a learning curve for me because I was terrible at restricting it.
Were you?
Mm.
Yeah, well, join the club. I think it's a...
I remember telling you about iPods back when our kids were little.
Really? That sounds right.
And you're like, really? What? You get them this thing? Yeah. It's like, So
there's a screen.
I was an early adopter of screens.
Were you?
And didn't realise what Pandora's box I was opening.
Yes, definitely. I have a lot of clients come in and they say, my child is on technology all the time. And that's a very interesting statement, I think. Firstly, I hear it all the time. But secondly, it implies that that's the child's fault, or that's the child's, the child should not do that. Or the child should just make a different choice, And so what are your thoughts as I say that?
Oh, definitely. The kid can't make the choice. And the screen, the activities on the screen are designed to be, if maybe want for another word, but addictive and suck them in and make them want to be there. So they don't have the self-control and the awareness to be able to control that. And I look, even as an adult, I can get sucked into that scrolling thing.
It's incredibly addictive, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's no way a child can be responsible for that.
Yeah. And it's such an incredibly common and enormous source of conflict in families, isn't it? So the kids sort of, first I think they're normalised. They think that they should have the access to the technology when or more often. And the parent is frustrated because the child disappears and zones out, might become more aggressive and frustrated. And then there's the conflict of the child wanting to get on, moaning and groaning and begging, or just not getting off when needed. Or fighting, So, and I'm not anti-technology by any stretch. There's a place for it. There's lots of benefits from it, and in moderation, it's fine, provided what it is, of course. But I mean, I think of this analogy as there's a table, and there's either salad or there's chocolate and candy, and then the parent sort of says, oh no, my child's reaching for the chocolate and candy. And it's like that. Yeah. It's kind of really missing the point. Well, don't have it on the table. You're responsible, you're the parent. And I think that we just get really tired. We get sick of the conflict. We don't know what to do. We don't know what's reasonable. We also get sucked into the fact that, the kids are saying, well, my friends are allowed to be on technology.
And there's so much crossover in your home.
What do you mean crossover?
Okay, so there's a TV, there's the school laptop, there's a tablet, there's so many different...
Phone.
Yeah, there's so many different sources of it. It's everywhere. Where do you draw the line? And so what I used to do is I had... and this is back in the days when it was a little bit different then too, with access to internet and Wi-Fi and stuff. But I had...
Are you talking about back in the day?
Back in the day.
Keep going, sorry.
So I had an app on my phone, and my phone controlled my kids' devices, and they would just turn off.
Yep.
So they would turn off at certain times of the day, and if there was something in particular that they loved, a game or something, I would set a time limit for it.
Yep.
So, but that didn't mean they didn't come to me begging and screaming and carrying on when the time was up, but it just switched off. But that only worked to a certain age too, but it was my attempt to try and teach them that there's limits and you shouldn't be on there all the time and have a think about it.
Yep.
But they're on screens all the time, aren't they?
They think that that's actually how you entertain yourself, or that's your lifestyle.
Well, I was wondering too, kids don't seem to, I don't know, like I only know my own experiences and what I see day to day. But sometimes I don't think kids seem as social as what they used to me. They're not, like when I was a teenager, I was always busting to get out the front door and be with my mates, you know, play in the streets till the street lights came on and come, you know, that sort of debacle. And kids don't seem to want to go out as much, but it's probably because they're all in contact anyway, digitally.
Well,
a lot.
It's really interesting. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a small percentage of kids that don't like technology, and they're just always outside. I think that children need to have a normality of being away from technology, so they know how to do, you know, creative, inventive play, socialising with family and with neighbours if possible. But you need to give them a lot of time to learn to self-create and to reach out and to go out. And I also think that, you know, provided weather allows you, that you just have an absolute rule that they just spend a portion of the time outside if possible. Get that vitamin D, get moving, get out of the house, you know. So, yeah, I think you've got to create the environment for kids to be kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I think there's also another enormous issue, and that is the parents' role modelling, you know. So, you know, when mum or dad are on their phone all the time, you know, they're flicking through Facebook, they're watching YouTube, they're watching movies, whatever it is. Firstly, they're not connected with the kids, but also how can they tell the kids not to get on technology?
That's right.
If they're always on it?
And your work life eats into your personal life, so you might be on your device doing your emails or things like that, you know, but you're still on a device. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a screen in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So you've got to be able to tune yourself out.
Yes, absolutely.
As well.
I think it's really important to step back and say, what's healthy? What do I think is healthy? Like for me, you know, I'll jump on and do different stuff. We've got these children's books coming out. Should probably talk about that. Or, you know, one of the projects I'm doing, not usually my clinical work because I keep that in work hours, but I will purposely not pick up and open up a screen or a laptop or anything until the kids are asleep. It's just a rule, you know. So that's doesn't mean I'm not doing other domestic stuff or you know, as you know, I've got 5 kids, so a conversation here and there, time disappears. But so I have a time frame where I don't get on those devices, and you know, on the weekends we will kind of think about what we're wanting to do, get out of the house by a certain time. We might go walking, whatever. And have something planned, so we get out so that the day doesn't disappear and you don't have screens. And I think with kids, you know, you've got to really think what is a good amount, what is reasonable, and to have a start and stop time so that it's communicated and there isn't this constant negotiation, therefore conflict, and then the parent is constantly, you know, having to batter that. But also, if you're going to take away technology incrementally, like for 5-minute chunks or something like that, because a child's misbehaving, you have a time frame that you can take away from. And so that's also a good parenting tool. Totally other topic. But yeah, so I think a time to turn on and a time to turn off is really, really important.
So red hot tip, what if you haven't done that, but now you'd like to try and implement that into your household? Well,
I think it's really important to know that you're going to, you know, face a war, and you've got to really comprehend that it's a worthwhile investment to go through that. I don't think you should start to gradually slow it down or incrementally, like, bring it back, because that's just constant conflict. I think you should actually take all technology
just
away
cold
for
turkey.
a month. Yeah, go Amish country for a month, just no technology for a month, unless they have their phone for safety when they go out, or there's a time frame that they need their...
Look at me, my mouth's just dropped. I can't even comprehend doing that.
Or they need their school laptops for school during a, you know, but basically give them sort of detox, and then bring it back, and you've given them an opportunity to just practice being a kid again or a teenager. You've shown authority that you've got the authority to do that, and you've kind of got a nice fresh plate to sort of say technology is a treat. So you bring it back as a treat with that new technique.
See, here's your next book.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't say that.
That will be a bestseller if you can nail that procedure and give people the red hot tips and teach them how to do that.
Do you know I'm literally achieved 12 books in 12 months.
I know.
12 books in 12 months. So don't say it.
I know.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I looked sideways at your husband when I said
Yeah. Was he shaking his head?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
But because what you've just said, that whole detox thing, take it away from that, just I can't even begin to think how.
You started to twitch then, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how we would have done that with my kids. I just don't think it would have been possible.
But the thing is that, I'm sorry, it sounds really cliche, but literally the power is with you.
I know that's what you're saying, but I don't think I've got the power.
But you do.
So we need a whole session. We need to book in. We need a whole.
But you need to set it up, right? You don't just do it half-hearted. You literally take the Xbox and you put it. I've had parents not only have to put it in their car, but they've had to take it to their workplace. You know, you work out how to turn technology off and on for a certain period of time. You do have to. This might sound a bit melodramatic, but you do need to feel safe. You know, if some families have got teenagers who are older and can become physical, and that is a legitimate difficulty and something to work through. So, you know, it's really kind of to think what could go wrong, problem solve it, work it through. And, you know, kids do need phones for safety when they leave home. So, you know, there are exceptions. But, yeah, basically go cold turkey for the month. Get everyone to kind of, and that means parents need to really pull back completely until the children are asleep, and and then reintroduce and bring it back incrementally, which is really good. And just to tell you what we do with our kids, shall I tell you that?
Yeah,
John can remind me because he's even better at this than me. But with our 8 and 10-year-old, in the morning when they are kind of up, dressed and uniformed, then they can have their little iPads.
Yeah, that's what I did,
until it's time to go to school. So that's just kind of, we're ready and we're chilling out. And then they don't have any technology from Monday to Thursday after school. We let them put on the TV depending on what's going on. So we might watch something that's okay, or we might put on a documentary or something, but there isn't any. Docos are great.
I love docos. I'm a fan of docos.
I know, they're great. They're great. We're watching baby animals at the moment. Super cute. And so, but not necessarily TV, you know. And if we're having dinner around the table, we turn the TV off. It depends on what's going on. And, on Fridays, it's like free-for-all. They come home Friday afternoon, and that's when the Xbox comes on and Minecraft comes on the computer and stuff like that. And then on the weekends, again, when they wake up in the morning, they can have some time in the morning. John and I, Saturday and Sunday, we go for a 5K walk, the dogs. So they've got it then. And then basically they don't have any technology unless John and I go out. And if John and I go out, then when they're home with the 3 big boys, the 18, 21-year-old, 16-year-old, then they get to have technology while we're out. So they say, hey, Mum, you going out? You going out? So that's what we do. It is a treat. It is a treat.
But that's a lot of work and a lot of foundation and ground building to get to that point where you can do that.
Or you can just detox and then start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And our big boys, they're really interesting. They can't have. No, this is our 16-year-old now. 18-year-old has left school, but he still does it. He doesn't realise that he can do what he wants now. We haven't let him know. James, I hope you're not listening to this. But and basically we let them have technology. I think they have to share the same Xbox, and I think they basically get something like 2.5 hours Saturday and 2.5 hours Sunday, and I think they get it Friday night. They share it. So there's, again, contained chunks of time. Yep. Yeah.
I think, I'm going to say it, I think that's fabulous. But I think that's extraordinary and a very high standard.
Do you?
Yep. The
big boys have their phones.
Don't know that we could pull that off.
They're not really into it. Really? Yeah?
Yep.
Well, I mean, they do have their school laptops, and I'm sure they sneak on and do stuff. They're the big boys. Absolutely. I'm not naive to that. But basically, there's quantity of time when they don't have a screen in front of them.
Yep.
And when they do other stuff. And, they can always do that more. We always want them to do that more.
Yes.
But I think what's really important is the little ones where you need to really be very, very guiding.
Oh, and I think the fact that you've probably done it from the word go.
Yeah.
And the big boys have been there to reinforce as well.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
And they want us to go out because then they get
That's
technology.
right. And then they get technology.
It's very, very good.
God bless them.
Yeah, yeah. And,
Bless
you know,
them.
I'm not an expert on what type of technology. I know that there's lots out there that are a bit too aggressive and that sort of thing. Yeah. And I think it's really important, you tapped onto it earlier, that, you know, it is designed to be addictive. It's designed so that you've got to stay on to go to the next level. You're going to lose the level if you get off. And
You lose your streak.
I don't know that.
See, I know what a streak is. Way cooler than you.
Oh, there's no dispute on that one. Yeah, no, but, you know, and so when the kid is really, really struggling to get off and then the parent gets angry, I just think we need to stop for a minute and go, hey, the child's been a puppet right now.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Yeah, and it just sucks for everyone. It's really, really tough.
Well, the parent's got to be the parent.
I mean, when we were kids, right, I'm 46. You're around that or something like that, aren't you?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I'm proud. You know, what I don't. It was just get off the TV.
Yeah, your eyes are going to go square. Don't sit so close.
Get off the
don't
TV.
watch so much TV.
Yeah, we didn't watch much TV.
No.
And the phone was on the cord, and it used to go around the hallway.
Yeah, it was
up
attached to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was very private.
Yeah. So
get off the phone.
Yes.
You know, so I think this has always been around, right?
Oh, for sure. And I was a reader, so I always had my nose in a book.
Me too.
And
Agatha Christie, Jeffrey Archer.
No, I'm thinking Sweet Valley High and Flowers in the Attic.
Oh, really? The Babysitters Club?
Oh no, I didn't do that.
I started there.
But you started at the Babysitters Club.
I think so.
I started at Enid Blyton was what got me in.
Well, see, that's classy. Keep going. What you said?
But we were reading, and if your kid had their nose in a book all the time, now you wouldn't say anything, would you? Like,
I do have some parents who have compulsive reading kids, and they have to take the book off them so that they get ready for school.
oh, get real, people.
It's very rare.
If you're
It's
blessed
very
with a
rare.
reader, dress the kid.
I'm with you. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to be a reader.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but it's all relative, isn't it, to the time and the place where we are in society and what we're doing.
Yeah.
And screens are a big thing.
I remember my mother used to climb up a tree and read a book, and she was always in trouble for being up a tree reading a book. That was her technology time.
Well, there you go. See, this is it. See, I used to lose myself in a book. Always carried a book around with me.
Yep.
And now my books are on my phone.
Oh my gosh. See, I can't do that. I probably shouldn't say that because I've just published a whole lot of ebooks. Oh, that's so funny. Anyway.
Yes, no, but you're right, and it is with the parents. It's the parents' gig.
It's the parents' responsibility.
Yep.
Have compassion for everybody. Make a game plan.
The kid's not going to be responsible.
Know what's going to go wrong. Have a strategy for it. And the reason why we want to do this is so they can be kids and they can play. When you're on technology, it sucks the childhood. Like time disappears.
Oh, God, yeah.
Obviously, there's some things you can learn and there's some educational, but majority are not. And creative play, conversation, eye contact, interpersonal skills, being part of the family, being part of the community, all those sorts of things. It's so incredibly important.
Yep.
Apart from, apparently there's some, attentional issues that come up too. Whole other conversation. Anyway.
Right.
So there you go. Restrict the candy.
Take control, people.
Says she to herself. Thank you so much for coming, darling.
Oh, I love coming. And having a chat.
It's pretty fun.
Highlight of my life, this podcast.
Probably, hopefully not. Can you do the spell?
Oh, yes.
And please prescribe, everybody, and write
Subscribe
in.
Subscribe
See,
to the
you.
podcast because
you.
this is Signposts for Living with Dr. Kirsten Hunter and Kristen Coggan on occasion. Her YouTube channel is Psych in Your Car. Webpage is kirstenhunterauthor.com. Facebook, Kirsten Hunter Author. Instagram, Kirsten Hunter Author. And on Twitter, she's Kirsten Hunter AU.
There you go.
You can find her wherever you want her.
I'll be around.
Write to her. Give us some feedback.
Oh, yeah, ask for a topic. We like that. Okay, see you,
That'd be
darling.
good. See ya.
Take care.
Bye.